Okay. All right, I had I had to cut the stream. I was still on IBKR. It looks like my money hit with Lightspeed, and I got the platform set up. Uh, so this is the layout I'm going to be using for Lightspeed. And let's see, make sure the stream's okay. Everything seems like it's okay. Uh, do it's like it's good. Stream settings, ultra low latency. Okay. All right, we got AIP. YMAB is there's nothing. Why is that? This is a new new platform for me, so it's going to take me a little bit to get used to it. Traded with IBKR for quite a while, so this is going to be a little bit getting used to. LIDR AIP. Let's see, AUUD. AUUD. Okay. AUUD. That kind of took off a little bit. YMAB. YMAB. I don't know what's going on with that. LIDR. We had a nice trade earlier right here once we broke the $3, and then it ran all the way up here to 330, but you're not going to get the whole move. Maybe you got in at 302, and then maybe you can get out at 320. Who knows? Get yourself about 15%. So that's about it. What do we have here? Orders, positions, active orders. Okay. LIDR, we have YMAB. YMAB is doing nothing. AIP. AIP is a third. AUUD. AUUD. We had news on AUUD earlier. We have audio announces non-binding letter of intent for business combination instruction. But what we have over here is nothing on that. So when we broke the high right there, what was the high? The high was 550. Once we broke 550, which is this right here, and we broke it with volume, we had to dip down to the 9 EMA. You could have gotten in on dip down to that because we're consolidating, we're breaking that. Right, I could have gotten 10 cents on that, but the spread's like 3 cents, so that's pretty decent. Yeah, so it looks like I had to restart the stream because I'm switching over to Lightspeed. So um, this is going to be a little getting used to. I traded on the demo fine, but not very much. So when I actually do trade real money, like now, it's going to be on very light shares. Very low shares, and the reason for that is I want to get used to the platform hotkeys, but also I know I'm going to make mistakes because it's a platform. I know I'm going to make mistakes, and those mistakes I do not want to make on high volume. I just don't want to do it. I did like a tenth of it until I can get used to the platform. That's what I would highly recommend for people. If you're switching over or you're new to a platform, do not go in your full size. I've made that mistake before, and I'm not making it again. So AUD, okay, and then right here, these are the 4 charts that I'm going to have of what I'm looking at. That's a one. These are 1-minute bars. AUD. I need to set up hotkeys to switch these windows. I wonder if I can set up hotkeys. I'm thinking I can, because this is 1 through 4. Now, also, if you look, well, you can't see it, but I will bring it over. like this is a 1 minute right here. This is the daily. Then this right here is the 5 minute. So, and of course we have the EMA right there in blue, and then I can just click this and go right to the VWAP. The VWAP right here, or I can click that to look at the non-EMA for the 5 minute. But right here is the 1 minute LIDR. Now, off the side of the chart, you don't see it, but right here is a 5 minute, and I keep that beside the 1 minute. So I'm just seeing if that's going to really help out. I don't have enough screen real estate to show that, but I do have enough to show here. So we have LIDR. Maybe we want to go AUD here. Go AIP to the top for LIDR. YMAB, we really don't want to thing. What is up with that? Okay. Hopefully this is going to take me a little bit getting used. Let's say the fourth one's nothing. LRMR, there's nothing there. And then YMAB, there's really nothing there. I don't know what's going on with YMAB. There was news, but it just spiked up and flatlined. Is that a what's not an IPO because it traded before? I don't know what's going on, but we have audio announces non-binding letter of intent for business combination and restructuring. That was at 6:07. Now 6 a.m. we had audio announces non-binding letter of intent business combination restructuring. That's the same news, 7 minutes apart. So that's AUD. I'm sorry. YAM at 8:30. Serve pharmaceutical freeze. Yeah, there's you really can't play that, honest. It's LIDR. Archon had news at 8:30. Archon awarded Mega 5.8 million contract to provide upgrade service for Mid-Asia gas line. So we go to Archon. This, yeah, it's there. Okay. I like Lightspeed, how this FGI, I mean, look, I mean, it switches over extremely fast. Like AIP, that's extremely fast. AUUD, very nice. AUUD could have been a trade right here. It's in consolidation. Kind of popped. This is not an ideal setup, but AUD, I have LIDR. See how it switches over very fast. I really do like that. Archon, Rail. I mean, there's nothing going on, to be honest. CSTL, it's very slow this morning. Probably a good thing because I'm switching platforms. TCMD, there's nothing there. Look at the volumes, 2,000. Really don't want to touch that. LIDR. Okay, earlier we were getting up at the $3 mark. Then we were looking at the level 2, and I wish I had a video for that. I could talk through it, but we were getting ready to break the $3 mark, and we looked over at the ask, and we saw a large order of like, I think it was around 18,000 on the order, and we were like at like 298, and then it goes to 18, then it goes 16, 14, 10, 9, 6. When you start seeing that eating up and it's staying there, like it was staying there at 298, and then those large orders were getting eaten up, that was a good thing because I knew as soon as it went to 0, we would get a pop, and we did. We got that pop over $3, and then we got a nice little run up there. So that was really nice, and really the only way you could have played that is You get a break of the $3 and you put your stop down here to like 290. So that's a 10-cent stop, but you really had to play it off of the level 2 by looking at that large order and seeing it getting eaten up in the price sitting there at 298, and that large order getting eaten up from 20 to 18 to 16 to 14 to 10 to 8 to 6 to 2, and then when you see 2, I mean, you jump in a little bit earlier because you know it's sitting there, and and people are slamming into the ask. When I say slamming to the ask, I mean people are the tape. I can put the tape on here on side here, but if you had the common sales, it would just be solid green. People just slamming right into the ask, it's eating up those orders that people are selling, that someone's selling. And then it popped, and we got a nice little run, like 302 all the way up here to like 3.25. But that was an easy 10-15 cent move. You're not going to get this whole move from, whoops, not going to get the whole move from here to here. But what you are looking for is to get the move from here here and try to get yourself 10-15 cents. May not sound like a lot, but if you're sitting, let's say you do 1,000 orders and get yourself 10 cents, that's $100. 10,000 would be a nice $1,000 trade. Now 10,000, that would take you about 30,000 capital, but did we have the volume? Yeah, absolutely. We had like 250,000 volume right there. We ran up to 500,000 volume. So you can easily dump 10,000 shares pretty quickly when you're spiking up. You want to hit your hotkeys. You want to do like shift 1, maybe get in 1,000 shares, shift 2, 2,000. When you're reading level 2, your hand doesn't even need to leave the keyboard. You just like shift 1, you get in 1,000 shares, you see that pop. So when you get in 1,000 shares right here and you see this pop and it runs from like 302 to like 312, you shift Q to sell a quarter of your position, or shift H to sell half of your position, and then you're sitting on a profit. And when you get this pop here, you can do shift H and sell half. Let's say you've already sold 500, then shift H, you would sell like 250. And when you see this candle start coming back down here, well, you can hold it because your mental stop is right here. And then once we get this break right here, I mean, why not get in another 1,000 shares? Your cost average will be up here. But if you're wrong, you just cut it. You've already made some profits by selling half. And when the market opens, like right now, when the market opens, that's good because I have a hotkey where I can do shift B for break even. So if it pops and I'm into a trade and I'm making 10 cents, all I have to do is shift B. I'm at break even. Shift H, I can sell half. It already updates my break even quantity. I'm going to put together a video showing everybody how I set up light speed. All right, LIDR on the 5-minute, as you can see here, that's a, I'm still getting, okay. All right, let's get rid of, the R-Vols went crazy. Let's get rid of pre-market. Got top traded. We can go with low float gainers here. Low float gainers, do that up here. Low float, biggest gainers are top traded. We could probably just do top traded. I'm going to get rid of the press release. And the R-Vols I could possibly keep top traded, like right here. You'll have set yours up how you want it. How is this looking? Yeah, the R-Vols is kind of ugly mug is kind of blocking it. over here. I don't even know if you guys really care about video streaming, seeing me. Guess it puts a face with the voice. And we can this over here. Whoops. Come on. Move this up. Yeah, so all right, we got AUD. AUD is under the VWAP. I really wouldn't even touch that right now. What we got here? SNBR. SNBR. I probably wouldn't touch that either. HSII. I don't know what's going on with that. CVKD. Wouldn't touch that. AMWL. No. DVX. BPG. No, because there's no volume there. STAA. I want to keep AUD up there. Still setting up the platform. That's all right. After next week, I should be pretty solid. Everything should be done. STAA is LIDR. Let's go ahead and start STAA. Start looking through STAA. Let's look through that. There's nothing there. Got a little bit of volume, but it's just kind of like, I mean, look at that. It's at 2678, and then look at the other line here. That's at 2680. You're talking about 2 cents. I can't do that. Oh, Star stock away in the float of 49 million. LIDR is getting ready to break the 9 EMA. We're holding the LIDR on a 5. That's trading above the session VWAP. We could reclaim $3. Who knows? We're looking at the volume coming in there. Kind of popped, kind of came back here to 9 EMA. It's sloping upwards. Got in at on the break of that 297. Stop. It got a 7-cent stop, but LIDR also has an ATR of 4 cents, 6 cents. That's, gotta wait for a move. RVOLs of UMAC and Repel. UMAC, RVOL, UMAC. That keep that on your list. LIDR kind of turned into a decent UMC. LIDR, if you got in on the bounce that spiked up on the this of the 9 EMA at 292, up 296, 295. Yeah, just keep a tight stop on that. I mean, shift B break even. If you got in at like 292 and you're at 296, just one protect your capital. Shift B break even, because you know you're at 292, you're at break even. If you're trading below 9 EMA, it could turn into a turd. If we break to $3, let me get a spike. Like I always say, sell into the spikes. Sell into those spikes. Okay, so EXI. I need to link these up to hotkeys. It's 4 charts, like maybe control 1 for this chart, control 2 for that chart. Then I can type in the tickers. Don't have to put my hand on the mouse. After the stream, I'm going to look that up, see if I can. BYGR. BYGR is 83,000, volume RVOL of 12, but there's nothing there. BYGR. There's nothing. Too low a volume. UPXI, nothing. see what the Qs are doing. As you can see here, we're kind of moving up. Where is my volume? There. Yeah, this is a daily on the bottom left. That's the daily. Of course, the 1 minute's up here, and you got the 5 minute over here. Yeah. STAA, LIDR. LIDR came down to the break even, so that's 3 cents. That's nothing but just check the capital. Like I said, you got to go to a break even. You tried it. Here's the thing: get this popping. It comes down to non-EMA, and this is non-EMA. You look at the volume. The volume is lower, so you can get in on that. And let's say it comes up here to 297. As soon as you're in profit, you can shift B, move to a break even. And you're trying to get that pop. You're trying to get that runner, but you didn't. So got out. Shift B is a market order for me. When I move to a break even, it's just a market order. It just gets me out, and you're at like a 1 cent spread. Spread's up here on the level 2, so the spread's up here. It's a 1 cent. It's no problem. Protect the capital. Try to get a runner. Top traded. So STAA. Wish I could hit tab and go to the next one. LIDR. LIDR. Over to the 5 minute LIDR. What I'm looking at the 1 minute here, and then over here is a 5 minute. So that's off the screen. But what I'm looking at is the 5 minute setting up? Is the 5 minute setting up? I don't even know. I might just move these 1 minutes right into a 5 minute. Switch over here and use it on this chart, and then just run through it real quick. I don't know. I'll have to play around with it, how I want to set it up. LR, MR, hit the R vol. 163, 6 R vol, LR, MR. Yeah, there's volume coming in, but it's on to the downside. So I need to update that. The R vol movers, because I'm not shorting. I don't short these pump and dumps. I don't short these micro caps. It's extremely dangerous to short. I'm going to put a video up on YouTube about that. Very, very dangerous to short these things. You just blow your account. You could owe money to the broker. And if you read the fine print, when you're on a margin and you owe money, they can come after your assets. You need to really read that fine print. In cash account, you're fine. You want to blow it up? That's fine. They don't care. It's your money. But I'm trading on margin, and I only recommend that for LIDR. LIDR has been doing really good there. We tried to get that break, and then we didn't, and then we broke the $3. So if you were looking at that, that's good. Got it up here twice. SIP, that's the that move. Top traded. That's top traded. One with biggest gainers. Biggest gainers. If you have the biggest gainers over here, that's STA, LIDR, ARDX, LMND has news. Eliminated reports lost revenue. So what you can do is you can just pick like, hey, do you want to trade the low floaters? Pick the top 4 there. Two biggest gainers, pick the top four. Top traded. Top traded is top traded with volume. So move that over here. LIDR is looking really good. You had a spike up. You had a run down to the non-EMA. It was red on the non-EMA going down, but you could have gotten in that and got yourself like 10 cents on pretty easily. Or 303 and got yourself 10, maybe 5-8 cents. Easily go down there and lock it in for a break even. Try to take the profits you want. Okay. Some XP. 5 minutes. AI. Some XT. Okay, so that's how you fix that. Okay, that's how you fix. Gotcha. Okay, we had SMX STAA. STAA. I don't know if I really want that. LIDR. AIP. These are the biggest. AIP. Then you've got, after AIP, you got RCAT. RCAT. Okay. AIP. Okay. Now we got it. Now we're cooking. Now I think we are cooking. I gotta set up the hotkey for that. But now we are cooking. All right. Now we're cooking. Or we were only cooking with just very little. Now we're cooking with some good propane. Good gas, good gas. Alrighty. Well, I want to set this part parameter. All. Part parameter. All. Part all. All All right, AIP is below the session. VWAP hasn't reclaimed. RCAT kind of bouncing off the VWAP. SMXT is looking okay. XT is looking okay. LIDR is kind of selling off. $9.50. Oh, I gotta highlight the limit up, limit down. Okay, so the LUO 247. So if we get to 247, you could get a halt, but 247 is way down here. So that needs to be highlighted. So you can look at that and see that highlighted level 2, because when you're in the trade, let's say you're in the trade and it runs up here, that limit up, limit down. Right now, if we hit 370 within, I don't know, I think it's 5 minutes, 370, it could get halted. This updates from time to time, so you really got to keep an eye on that. We've got SMXT is getting is getting ready to make a bounce on that. You got the volume that kind of moving down a little bit. So where's the high? High is 237. Yeah, kind of already tried to make that 240. You could get that pop. You got 237. You want to look at this 237. You know your stop is down here around 220. So you got yourself 240, 240, 238. SMXT is a float of 29 million. It's not really a low floater, but shares out is 45 million. The VWAP, SMXT VWAP is at 213. So if you got in on the bounce of that right there, on the bounce of that non-EMA at, let's say you got in at 2.25 and you came up here to 235, you definitely want to be taking a little bit of profit, and you can move to shift B, move to a break even. That's perfectly fine to do. You got LIDR that's just consolidating. If it can break that 5 minute, that will be good. You got bullish engulfing on the 1 minute. Get a guy in at 10, get it out of 315. So that's, you know, in and out. The volume is there. That's LIDR is popping. If you look at 315, you got 1500, 2100, 312. You got a little topping tails. That's a little concerning. That's on LIDR. You got RCAT that just popped. If we're looking at that, RCAT just popped on the high break of 1018 right here, 1020. Now you're at 1038, 18 cents on that RCAT. You got to pick 4, stick with it. You got to pick 4, stick with it. You can go with 6 or 8 if you can stay focused that much, but yeah. Yeah, AIP, that's just still under the session VWAP. I wouldn't be thinking about that. LIDR, got some topping tails. Look at the 5 minute. 5 minutes, got some spinning tops. Looks like you're setting up for a spinning top on that one as well. And also look at the volume on that. Look at SMXT. SMXT, we got to bounce off the non-EMA. You probably got about 10 cents on that on the SMXT. And look at the previous 5 minute. Previous 5 minutes, you got more of a topping tail than anything. So you kind of like want to stay away from that. RCAT, you got a nice little pop. RCAT, you got a pop on 1020. It ran up to 1040. So you got about 10, 15 cents on that. That's RCAT. That's looking good. YMY. Oh, where am I? YMAB. AB. I don't. ARDX. 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 That's nothing. AMWL on the low floaters. Nothing there. VVX. Nothing there. Bait. Nothing there. There's no volume on the low floaters. LIDR is biggest movers. LIDR, but it did pop. Now it's just kind of crashing back down. You got RCAT that moved up pretty good. It looks like it could be stalling out. Got AIP that hasn't, it's still consolidating on a 5-minute. Got SMXT, SMXT. Look at the previous 5 minutes. You got some topping tails. I want to stay away from that. WD. There's nothing there. UFPT. There. Go to SMXT. LIDR is breaking down. RCAT's coming back to the VWAP. It's not looking too hot. It's trading below the EMA. Below the 9 EMA is not good. Got SMXT that bounced off the VWAP. But look at the 5 minutes. The 5 minutes, you got them topping tails right there. Got them topping tails right there. That's not too good. You didn't make a higher high. It's kind of, yeah. So it is deciding, SMXT is deciding what the heck it wants to do. CWD, 250,000, CWD. Look at that 5-minute previous. You want to stay away from that. LIDR is breaking down. RCAT is just bouncing right now. What's the Qs doing? We had a bull flag on the Qs earlier. Ran up here and had a bull flag, and then we broke 88.23 and ran up to 88.43, 53. You were trading in ETFs. You got capital, you can trade that pretty easily. You got LA, you got STAA, STAA. Let's take a look at that. There's nothing there. You got LMND, LMND. That's nice. I like that. We had nice little pop and bounced off air. We had pull back here. You broke that. You broke the high 46.80, ran up to 46, 46.86, 40, what? 47. Yeah, you almost got a dollar move on that. Pretty nice. This area is kind of hard to play. You got SMXT. If you were looking at SMXT, that kind of ran. SMXT. If you were looking at that, you got AIP that's could be breaking. It really needs to get above 1353, so you can get above right here with volume. Probably try and get a run up to 14. Want to keep an eye on that. That is AIP. You got RVOL, BINI, RVOL. That is to the downside. Looks like it just got smoked. Stay away from that. That is major no. BTAI. BTAI. That is a nice run. BTAI. You look when it broke the 5-minute right there. 257, 258 right here. With volume coming in, that is nice. You're not going to get this whole move from here to here. Not going to get the whole move, but what you can do, 258, if you can get in on the break of that and try to get this move right here, try to get maybe 260, sell it at 280, get yourself 20 cents. Not looking for a whole big move. You're not going to get that. You're extremely lucky, that's all. Get in on the bounce of that. The volume was kind of high on these two candles, but the candle's kind of low in the green, possibly 281, go up to that's BTAI. But it looks like the volume is kicking in right there, so you could probably stay away from that. SMXT bounced off the VWAP. BTAI. CVA. Nope, BTAI. Looking at 281 break. Play that as a 2-bar break. Not looking for this bar to break, you're looking for this one right here to break. 281 up 90. Got that 281, you got 285. 285, you're at 281. What you want to do is shift B to a break even and try and get this, because if it's going to run, it's going to run. So you're in at 281. If you're looking at the level 2, you can probably sell quarter, sell half, and move to a break even. I mean, that's what you want to do because you're trying to get a runner. If it stalls and comes back, why take a full stop out? You're scalping it. Why take a full stop out? Yeah. Not what you want. That's why you would probably sell a quarter, sell half up there as it was stalling out, and then you go to a break even and done. Always get back in. AIP, if you were looking at that, got a break right here. Like I said, if it breaks 1351, right now you're 1381. You're up about 30 cents. You can shift B, break even, sell half into this pop. This is how the game's played. SMXT is just tanking. SMXT. It looks like they made their run. Then they're tanking it. LIDR. They made their run. They're tanking that. AIP. AIP is still looking good. RCAT, I think it's just consolidating. They made a short little run for that. Got DOCN showed up with news. As you can see here, DOCN showed up with news. Not enough volume in there, to be quite honest. Got ARDX. That kind of made a little bit move. You got RCAT that's consolidating. You got AIP that kind of popped and then it's kind of fizzling out. SMXT, if you look at that, SMXT, if you look at that, don't want to get into that. I don't care how good the 1 minute might look. Well, for one, you're under the non-EMA. And second of all, look at that bullish engulfing candle right there. It engulfs this, it engulfs that, it engulfs these three right here. So that's telling me no. With volume, no. Shares outstanding 45 million. I don't know how many shares it has traded. Maybe I can try and figure that out. Yeah, CWD, but that's not. Yeah, it's a 2-cent spread. That was a low floater. That was a good one. CWD. What you want to do is right here. You had to break this area right here at 373. The 373. You gotta break at that area right there. You got the non-EMA moving up. You got a break of that 375. We're already up to 375. Yeah, paid yourself 50 cents on that move. That's pretty good. Pre-market was kind of slow, but market hours is kind of ramping up. It's at 10 o'clock. You possibly could be done. If you look at the stats, most of the money, I'm pretty sure, is made between 8 and 10. You got AIP that popped in, it fizzled out. LIDR is trading below the VWAP. You want to not touch that. CWD breaking new highs. If it breaks 475, you could possibly make a run for 5, but we do not know. Boom, 5. Thank you. Is it going to kiss 5 again? 495, 496, 498, 5. It kissed it again. Thank you. NQ is the futures is not very much. Futures ain't moving very much. Yeah, so I really need to update this. Low flow gainers, this volume 1 needs to be all the volume on the market. Yeah. But pre-market CWD really didn't do anything. So if we kind of look at this, what's the shares? 22 million. CWD, I don't think, it says it has a float of 1 million, but shares outstanding right here is showing 22 million. So I don't know if I trust that float or not. I mean, if you go to the float, what was Arcat? Arcat was biggest mover. Arcat ain't no biggest mover now. Million float, but that SMXT ain't doing any. CWD is the best one so far. ANTE, ANTE, TE. That's nothing. AMWL, nothing. FTLF, that's nothing. There's no volume. CVKD, there's no volume. PEPK, PEPK, I don't know. CWD is the biggest one. The strange thing is CWD doesn't have any news. CWD, there's no press releases here. CWD, I don't see anything. I don't know why it's moving, but it is moving. I don't know why though. That's strange. It'd be an SEC filing. If there's no news and it's moving, it could be an SEC filing. I mean, you got 30 million right there, so that's just 3 million, yeah. Let me quick video, record this video. Okay, we're just looking at CWD. As you can see here on the low float gainers, I mean, it's been a top, it's been 110% change. The volume has been really good. As you can see here, the volume has gone from like 250,000 up to 500,000 up to close to 750,000. So the volume is definitely there. It showed up on the low float gainers. And as you can see here, we didn't start ramping up until about 10:04. It was about 10 minutes ago. So it kind of ramped up. We extended from the 9 EMA. We really didn't even touch 9 EMA. We had like a little flag pattern show up. So you had right here, then right here. Now, if you got in on the break of this right here, you get in on the break of that right there. So it had a nice little run up. The non-EMA is sloping upwards. And if you look right here on the 5-minute, the VWAP is sloping upwards. And if you got in at like 10:08, which is this candle here. This candle here, this 5-minute, you're making higher highs and higher lows right here. That's exactly what you want to see. That is exactly what you want to see, is higher highs, higher lows on a 5-minute. Get in on the break of that at, let's say, at 475. It ran up here to $5. That's a $5 whole mark. If you're in at 475 and you get $5, you got 25 cents, which you can do since this is market hours. You can sell a quarter, you can sell half, and then go to shift B, move to a break even. You booked yourself some profits. You can't lose, and then you get yourself another pop. You can sell a quarter or sell a half. And then as it comes down here to the 9 EMA, you can just see if it's going to close below the 9 EMA, or is it going to be a short-term little pullback and then run up? We don't know. But right now, should be in a pretty easy trade, because you got to pop and you're selling a quarter or half into that pop and you move into a break even. This is the best runner so far for the low floaters. We got the shares outstanding 22 million. Right now we're using the Lightspeed platform because I switched over. Daily has got a huge candle. Only one thing is that there is no catalyst. I don't see any news. No news right here. So I don't know why it's moving. We have no idea. Sometimes you just got to run with it. But that's CWD. That was a good trade. That was this morning. That is a good trade. We have SMXT, LIDR. LIDR kind of popped in pre-market and it just kind of fizzled out. AIP really not much. RCAT was pretty decent early morning when it showed up. Showed up on the biggest movers. It got some small trades on there. The biggest trade so far is CWD. This is nice. Make sure you join us on the live streams every morning, 7 a.m. to 11. Look at that. You got yourself a pullback. Sold about a quarter or half into there. You're at a break even. And if you get in at this right here at 1532 and you're right here, you can actually add to the trade, and your cost average could be right down in here. And then you're in the trade. So you took a little profits here. You got to pull back, and you got a break of that right there. You get in at like 530 already and 20 cents. So you can sell a quarter there. Cost average is down here. You want to add to your winners and cut your losers. Make sure you join us on live stream later. All right. I think the server is okay. I can log off of that. Log off out of that. Whoa, don't want to do that. Okay. All right, so we good to go. This is looking good. This is looking good. Got LIDR that is trying to tap the VWAP. Got RCAT that's just sitting there consolidating, flatlining. Got AIP that is not doing very much. Got LM, I go right here to LMND. Got CWD that is just a running. It's just a running. Who got some of that? You got BTAI. Wow, you got CWD that is just banging. Oh, you got a little trade on BTAI. You got a little pullback. You got a little pullback here, a little kiss of the EMA. And you got a little 278 up here to 285. Maybe you got yourself about 10 cents. And if you held into this, sold a little bit here, it got in the pop, got that pop. This pullback, no, don't want to do that. That's below the EMA. I don't like that. SNBR, there's nothing there. NEG is nothing there. ZEPP. ZPP, there's nothing there. Look at the volume, 10,000. There ain't nothing there. CWD, if you want to go in heavy volume, you go in right here. CWD. Yeah, they are pumping this. They are pumping that. I mean, they are pumping that. We got, oh, okay, that's where the volume. We got 13 million volume on that. That's where the volume. Okay, I'm still new to Lightspeed. I just switched over from Interactive Brokers, so the volume is there. That's six. Okay, I kind of like that. Now I'm getting used to this platform. On the 5 minute, yeah, the volume 700,000. So I kind of like that. That's good. And the volume on the daily is 13 million. We got shares outstanding 22 million. This is crazy. CWD, the float says 1 million. I don't know if that's true or not. I take this float stuff with a grain of salt, to be quite honest. You got to. Shares outstanding is pretty solid. I'm pretty sure that's solid. Okay. All right. What we have here. CWD is looking good. PTAI, PTAI kind of fizzled out. STAA. STAA is looking good. ARDX. RCAT right there. RCAT, I don't know. AIP. No. LIDR, that's probably no. LMND. Yeah. Best one is CWD. I'll be right back. Yeah. Alrighty. CWD is pretty good. I'm eating a little bread the wife made. Look at that 5 minute. Look at the 5 minute. That 5 minute is going crazy. RIM. RIM. No. YMAB is just still a turd. XMTR. Hmm. Alright, CWD. That thing's just flying. Got XMTR. That's kind of hard to play. You got Prime. That's a turd. UFPT. Stay away from that. VVX. No. ZEEP. No. Wait a minute. ZEPP. Low volume on that. SNBR is kind of low volume. AMWL has got news, but it's kind of low volume. You got CWD that is just cranking. That's where people are moving it. Moving all their money is into that. BTAI still consolidating, but it's kind of moving. As you can see here, got a nice little pattern right here, a little A, B, C pattern. Got in on the break it at 287, ran it up to about 29. You can pop it once it pops and gets above here, like 288 and gets to 290 something. You can just move to a break even and just see if it can run up to $3 and get yourself 10. Yeah, CWD is just cranking. Really, it's been kind of slow. It was really slow earlier this morning. On LIDR, earlier this morning, them $3 break, it was there. Right here. And the $3 break, the only reason we got into that is just because we were looking at the tape and it was 298 and we had a large order on the ask and people were slamming into it, just chewing it up. And then we broke and got the $3 up to 310 to 320. I mean, that was nice. And you're just selling into that pop. That's really nice. Need to get used to this platform and the charting. The charting's okay. I like it because it's really fast. Ooh! I think they're done with it. I think they're done with CWD. Look at that volume. It was fun while it lasted. I mean, me personally, I just wouldn't get in right here just because you should have made your money. You should have made your money on this move right here. You should have made your money on some of this right here. You should have made your money on some of this, on some blah, 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 on some of this right here. You got bullish engulfing right here. Boom. You got slam down. Both of these. You got close below the 9 EMA. I mean, yeah. Why keep pushing your luck? And to be honest, I mean, you got one, you got two, possibly three. I mean, don't be triple dipping on stuff. That's you're asking to give the money back. Now I know some people are looking at this, be like, oh, we can go to 750, we can go to 8. But look right here at the 5-minute. Look at that. That's a shooting star 5-minute candle. If we break that, yes, we could keep running. But if you've made your money so far, it's 10:30. Move on. Book your profits, move on. You're done for the day. This stuff happens every day, man. This happens every day. You just move on. Happens every day. Just move on. BTAI. If you're looking at the 5-minute right there on the side right there, that's cranking. All the other ones are just kind of sitting there like a bunch of bump on the log. But BTAI, come over here, we go to BTAI. Right here, we have pullback, a higher low pullback. We had a little inside bar right there. We had a pop of that. And that right there, 295 up to 3. Yeah, you're hoping for a 3 and you got yourself like 305. Yeah, very, very small profit. Very, very small profit. But the play was right up in here. You should have played this. BTAI, because it did show up here. Well, it was on the scanner. But that play should be done. Oh, that's a big spike. CWD, wonder what that's doing. Yeah, see, it's starting to stall out. Look at the 5-minute. Look at the 5-minute. You got a shooting star right there. You got a big topping tail. You got a topping tail that's forming right here. You got big volume right there. The volume right here is it's not increasing, it's decreasing. As it's forming, it's decreasing. It could increase, but as it's forming, it's decreasing. Sure, you're moving up, but you should have made your money. You should have made your money on this. You don't try and make your money on this, if that makes any sense. You make your money on higher lows, higher highs. You're a Momo trader. Momentum. This is the momentum. This is the momentum. That $5 break right there. That $5 break right there, which we broke on that candle, but the break of that high right there. What was the high? The high was 520. So let's say 525. Let's say 5.25. 5.25 all the way up to 650. Come on. You got like $1.50. Whatever. You make your money on Momo trades, not this up here, not this little. It looks like it could be consolidating, not this. The volume's decent, but I don't like that topping tail right there. That's what I don't like. Sure, we're above the VWAP, we're above the VWAP, we're above the 9 EMA, but the money's already been made. And you had a high volume. Money is definitely being made. I'm still getting used to this. Okay. Oh, I need more water. Oh, Arvol's been Arvol LRMR. There's probably nothing there. LRMR. Nope. WD. See WD, we got a spike to $8. Wow. Boy, this thing is strong. I just wouldn't play it. There's no setup here. There's no setup. Look at the volume right there. There's no setup. This is a setup. We got a spike. We're making higher highs, higher lows. We got a break right there, 482. You're looking for $5, and we got to run up to $5 to 550, 5 half. So yeah. STAA ran pretty decent. STAA ran pretty decent, but now it's kind of fizzling out. BTAI is just fizzling. XMTR is fizzling. CWD is still looking decent. I mean, you should have made your money in the morning, so you should basically be done right now. Yeah, UFPT. There's nothing there. WHLR. I showed up earlier. There's nothing there. STAA. There's nothing there. You got PAC. That's nothing. ARDX. I'm not even going to look at YMAB. There's nothing there. SNN. LMND. LMND earlier. This right here, you had higher highs, higher lows right up in here. Like at 935 to 940. 940, yeah. We had a run up, we had a pull back to the 9 EMA. The volume was a little bit low, so you could have gotten in on the pullback right here. Maybe put your stop down here. We got a run up here. We got a little pullback here. We got an inside bar right there. You get it in on the break of that. That ran 45.70 up to 45.70, 46. Yeah, so you got easily $1 right there. It's a $45 stock though. LMND, 58 million float. Shares outstanding is 72 million. So yeah, but it's high, but it can still run, still make money. LMND. And you had news on that. What was that? Lemonade Q2 earnings. That was an earnings thing. Okay. So that's fine. Got LMND right there. LMND, you should be done with that because look at this. It's just consolidation. Consolidation right here. Consolidation. Got consolidation right here. Got this right here. Yeah, it could pop up to 49, but that's not what we're playing. Yeah, see that? That's that. What is this? Okay. Line. Delete all. Okay, I mean, CWD, where we're at on that. Still climbing. It's still climbing, but it's hard to play this pullback right here. Really hard to play that pullback because look at that volume. It's pretty high. So that pullback's hard to play. Close below the 9 EMA, then we kind of reversed and went up. I mean, you can do this. Yeah, you can play that. But I just don't do that. I really go off the 9 EMA, to be quite honest. That is what I do. That is what my plan is. I'm surprised this thing hasn't gotten halted. We had a big run. BTAI. Whoops, BTAI. Yeah, there's not much there. STAA kind of spiked. Spiked up, and then we kind of came back down. LMND. Lemonade. XMTR. There's really nothing there. PC, we've got, there's nothing there. No catalyst. Yeah, it's an RVOL, but there's no catalyst. Nothing is going on. LGT, there's nothing there. IVF, nothing. BTAI. BTAI, that's kind of hard to play. I mean, right here was fine, but this is hard to play, this bounce and this run up. Yeah, because in my book, that EMA, I don't like that. So I just pass on that. Then you got CWD. CWD was good in the earlier on. Now it's like 1042. So it's like 1042. So the market 1042.50. So the market is kind of slowing down at 11. And I'm done at 11. What the Q's is doing. Oh, that kind of ugly. Much. Flag and then a break of that. Flag and a break of 88.25. Ran up to 88.50. We could have gotten 25 cents out of that maybe. Wow. Bro, that is just puking out. We're at 5 minute once we close below the VWAP. 935, we reclaimed it right here. 935, we reclaimed it, ran up to 88.50, so that's good. Right here, we just started breaking. Once we broke the low, we were done. Look at STAA, look at that. Same thing. ETAI is just flatlining. Lemonade flatlining, XMTR flatlining. So, yeah. But, you know, you really only need one good grade, and that was CWD. CWD was the best one. You got to move here, and you got to move here and here. And that's when you want to, if you got 3 winners in a row right there, you just want to walk away. Take your money and just walk away. Take your money and walk away. Don't trade it anymore. Just take it off your charts. Don't even look at it. Because you're going to be like, oh, I could have bought here at $5 and sold it at 8 and made $3. Yeah, you could have, but you don't know that when you're looking like this, or you're looking like that at $5. You don't know it's going to go all the way up here to $8. You don't know that. You have no idea. No one does. YMAB. Yeah, YMAB is just whatever. YMAB. Look at that. To me, that's ain't algo. Algo trading. Go volume on BTAI, SNBR, SNBR. Look at the volume. Nothing. CWD's got volume. But I think it's over. I think the fun is over. We got the keys. What's the SPY doing? The SPY's doing the same thing. The SPY and the keys kind of travel together. 10:50, I think I am done for the day. I'm happy that we got Lightspeed and we're away from Interactive Brokers, because that Rule 144 was too scary for me. Look at the Q's just a puking, blah, giving it all back. Look at that. We're going to come down to 70. Well, we got to get to 80 first, then go to 70. Then go to 60. Who knows? Go to 50? Who knows? Look at that volume on it. The volume on that green candle, just not much at all. People ain't looking to get into anything like that. AMD is coming out with earnings at 5 o'clock. AMD, yeah, it's 172. Wonder what old Apple's doing. Palantir, got the Googs. We got Goog. Google early morning. Look at that 5-minute higher highs, higher lows. That was pretty nice. You can even play these. That's a little hard to play right there, but we had to run up. We had a little micro pullback there. We had a touch of the non-EMA. We broke that. Ran up here. So you can get yourself 50 cents. Probably, yeah. 50 cents a quarter right there. Nvidia. Nvidia's puking, just like the Qs. Look at what I had on my list that were actually gainers right there. They were gainers, and then they just kind of flatlined, sold off, flatlined, flatlined. So, yeah, there's not much movement in the market to the upside, that's for sure. I mean, CWD was a nice run. CWD was nice. CWD was nice. People that got into that are enjoying it. CWD. I'm getting ready to cancel the stream. We're getting ready to move on. CWD was definitely good. Got yourself a nice 50-cent move here. 50-cent move there. That's like $1. Another 50-cent move. $1.50. You're actually going to miss this move because it didn't show up on it did not show up on the scanner right here. It did show up right here. Could easily have gotten that one right there. You could have gotten yourself pretty much, let's say 620 up here. See, sold up here 670. So yeah, you got yourself a 50-cent move. 1,000 shares, that's $500. What that's the biggest movers. Top traded. Top traded, look at that. CWD right there. STAA, YMAB, that's a turd. AIP, BTAI. So, whoops. Right there. So just move that over here. We had CWD, CWD. That was good. STAA. That was already there. YMAB, I'm not even going to look at. That one, AIP, BTAI. That's just BTAI was decent. We had a move right here. You want to look at these. This is making higher highs, higher lows. So right here at 955 at BTAI, at 955 BTAI, 955. What you want to look for at 955? 955 is right here, 954, 955. So you have volume increasing, and you're at 955. What you can do, because you're getting a break of this candle right here, you're getting a break of it. You could wait for the run up and then the pullback, and then the pullback. Of course, the volume is dried up right there, which is really good. You can wait for a 2-bar break and you get in here at 280. Let's say you get in at 280 and you sell up here at 286. Got yourself a little 5 cents, and then I think we were looking at this, and then I said, just move to a break even. You would have gotten stopped out. You would have gotten stopped at your break even right here. But I'm all about capital preservation, protecting the capital. But you can get in. What I've noticed is on these 5 minutes, when it's above the VWAP, you can get in on the break of those 5 minutes. So at 955, you could have gotten in on the break of this candle right here, which was 265. So at 266, you can get in on the break of that, 266, and your stop is down here at 255, maybe 256, maybe a 10-cent stop. You know, and then at 266, and you got up here to 286, that's like a 20-cent move. And also, if you really notice, so if you really notice, right here, was it 955? Yeah. So let's come over here, 955. What I have noticed at 955, which is this candle right here. So you're breaking the 5 minute right here. So you're breaking the 5 minute. The high of that 5 minute is 257. So 257. Whoops, 257 down here. So you're getting, so this candle opens up, and it opens up here, and it opens up at 255 and the low is 253. So it kind of moves down 2 cents. By the time you break the high of this, 257, you're up to 258. 258, and your low is 253. You can put a 5 cent, like as soon as it breaks this 258, you get in. Of course, you have to read the level 2 in the tape, But you get in, and where's your stop? It doesn't need to be down here at 246. It can be right here. Real tight stop at 253. Real tight stop. Because you're breaking the 5-minute. Higher highs, higher lows on the 5-minute. You're breaking that high of the 5-minute right there. And the VWAP is sloping upwards. It's still early morning. So the volume is there. I mean, look at the volume on the 5-minute. Actually, if we look over here on the volume on the 5-minute, as you can see right here, I'm still getting used to the platform. Yeah, I mean, you can get in on the break of that 258. Put your stop down here to 253. You got yourself a 5-cent stop. I mean, 1,000 shares, 5 cents. It's like, I mean, how much you risking? $50. 1,000 shares, 258, and you run all the way up to 268, 288. I mean, yeah, that's a huge risk reward. Huge. That's BTAI. Let me take a look at that. I can create a video. I didn't trade that. Actually, I didn't trade anything this morning because I was just setting the platform. BTAI. And BTAI. Where was that? I think that's on the low floaters, BTAI. I'm not sure. But BTAI, that's a good one. And I know that showed up. I'd have to go back and look at the stream, but I know it showed up. BTAI is a good one. Yeah. Okay. What I need to do is I need to look at the hotkeys and see what I can do about these right here. These 4 charts, if I can do control 1, 2, 3, 4, let's say I want to update the third one here. I just do control 3, just hit control 3, and then type in the ticker. That way I don't have to take my hands off the keyboard. Because everything's hotkeyed. Everything's hotkeyed. Again, we got the RVOL. Okay, I'm done. Light speed's all set up. We're all good to go. I'm going to get the rest of my money out of Interactive Brokers. I'm going to transfer the rest of that money out. I'm going to put maybe about another $1,000 into Lightspeed and give myself a buffer of at least a couple $1,000. And then I think this week I'm just going to trade real light on shares and get used to the platform. So when I make a mistake, I don't get clobbered. And then next week we can start trading regular. Talk to you later. 7 a.m. tomorrow morning.